Hi, Gene Burnett from geneburnett.com. Hey, I thought we'd talk a little bit about your future self and how you might want to save that future self some pain and difficulty in the future. Because that's where your future self is, right? Save yourself some trouble in the present too, but this is a way to help out the future you, the old dude, and I use dude as an all-purpose, gender-inclusive, all human beings. The older dude in your life, you'll be doing that person a favor. So do you ever notice how deliberately a lot of old people move? Very hesitant, careful, one step at a time. You know, I believe that most people move deliberately because they're in pain. Most older people, they move deliberately because they're in pain, and if they're not careful and deliberate in their actions, their pain will increase. So they're avoiding more pain in the present by moving more hesitantly and carefully. So now if you want to be in pain too when you get old, so much pain that you need to move deliberately all the time to avoid being in even more pain, then go ahead and ignore the rest of what I'm about to say. But if you don't want that to be the future of the older you, if you want to avoid pain in the future, or at least lessen its likelihood, I suggest that you start moving more and more carefully and deliberately now. Meaning now when you're, middle-aged. I know, like if you're young, this is almost impossible. I'm really thinking of people in the middle of their lives, like 30s to 50s. Just tapping the brakes, slowing down a little, being a little bit more careful and a little bit less impulsive when you're moving, and that will create more awareness of your balance and your surroundings and lessen your chances of getting in an accident or in trouble. So I see this a lot in fail videos on YouTube. There, someone will be sitting just like this and they'll get up to go and they'll throw their back out, or their foot will catch on the chair or the carpet and they'll face plant 3 steps away down on the ground because they impulsively moved. So look at your impulses. Move more deliberately, just a little bit more. You don't want to be the guy or the person in the checkout line slowly writing a check for your groceries while there's a line of people looking at you with daggers in their eyes. It isn't about being slow and slowing down the flow of everything around you. It's just moving a little bit more deliberately. So this is how I used to get up. Now I just get up and go. And now that I'm a little bit older, 66 this summer, I push the chair away, I give myself a little moment of ready, and then I get up and then I go. And sometimes I get up, make sure I'm kind of, as we say in the martial arts, over your stuff. So your body over your legs and feet. Sometimes I take an extra second, but it's a few seconds. It's just a little bit more deliberate. And if you do this, you'll be less accident prone, your balance will improve, you'll become more and more solid and balanced in your body because you're moving deliberately and carefully and taking into account things. If you have a Tai Chi or a yoga practice, that's even better because you'll be aware of your skeleton and your alignment more. But even if you're not doing any practices, body practices or whatever, just moving more deliberately will wake up your resources and awareness of the world around you. And as you get older, falling down is more likely and more consequential, right? It's more likely that you fall, and if you do fall, it's more likely that it'll be damaging. So if you move more deliberately and carefully, and as I say, Tai Chi or yoga practice is great, but you don't have to. Just move more deliberately, whether you're washing the dishes or sweeping or doing anything. So many people get in trouble while they're vacuuming because they don't want to stop and vacuum and they just move a chair. They want to hold the vacuum in one hand while they're vacuuming, pick up the chair with the other, which is great when you're young, in your 20s and 30s. When you're older, why? Just take an extra 10 seconds. Move the chair, turn off the vacuum cleaner, move the chair, go back and vacuum. It takes 20 seconds. And I know it's hard to spare those 20 when you're young and you want to get that vacuuming done. But when you're older, man, take the time, dudes. Take the time. Because it's not worth throwing your back out. It's not worth pulling a shoulder muscle. Everything takes longer to heal when you get older. Every single goddamn thing, from a head cold to a muscle pull, anything takes longer and longer and longer to heal. So do yourself a favor. Do the old person in your life a favor. Act like you like that person. Do that person a favor in your future. Move more deliberately now when you don't need to. And that way, as you get older, you'll be able to move more and more deliberately to prevent pain, not from keeping pain that's there from getting worse, but to prevent it in the first place. So that's my message to you today, is to be more deliberate. Be more deliberate, careful in your movements. Just slow down a little bit, especially when you get up, especially when you are about to go, when the impulse to move strikes you. If you can learn to just tame that impulse a little bit, give yourself a brief little ready, okay, and then go. It's amazing, but it's a small thing, but it really, really helps. I've talked to a lot of my students who are especially a little bit older, in their 60s and 70s, and they're always telling me these stories about how they did some task that normally leaves them sore for 2 days, but this time they didn't. It didn't, because they slowed down and did each piece carefully. And it didn't take that much more time, and they were injury-free to go on with their life when the task was over, instead of, being practically bedridden, or ice packs or heating pads or whatever they had to do to feel better. So be more deliberate now so that you don't have to be more deliberate later. Right? Prevent the necessary deliberateness that you got to do to keep from hurting even more. Build it into your life so that you don't have that pain there in the first place. A preventative. Okay, so thanks for listening, everybody. I appreciate it. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do music videos. I do videos like this, Tai Chi videos and health and fitness related videos, occasional nature videos, and once in a while a little stab of humor. But yeah, subscribe to the channel or visit GeneBurnett.com. I have donation tip jars underneath this video and over there on my website. If you want to help support this kind of helpful work that I'm doing, that I'm trying to do, just to be helpful out there. This is not a big time station. This is just a little dude trying to help out people. Yeah, feel free to give me a tip, but I don't care. It's more important to me to be a little bit helpful. So a comment that anything I say or do here is helpful to you is worth a big fat $10 tip. So thanks for listening. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next time.